Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we'll be talking about Patrick Williams flying out to practice with DeMar DeRozan and what that could mean to his upcoming season. We'll also be doing a draft profile of one of the most exciting prospects in the draft, Nikola Jovic. And finally, we'll be ending the show talking about the NBA Finals. We'll get into all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen of the day. Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That's Pat, the designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm CEO Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central. In today's episode, we're jumping right into the first topic. Patrick Williams, he's flying out amongst all the rumors to go to LA to practice with DeMar DeRozan. Now, this is hugely important, I think, for Patrick Williams finally making that leap that we want to see. Now, he's going to probably make a big leap, a couple of smaller leaps over the course of his career, still at being only 20 years old. He's younger than most of the draft prospects we've covered, Pat, in our draft prospect profile. But what does this say to you? We knew that it was happening, but now that it's coming to fruition, how do you see this really impacting and maybe helping Patrick Williams get out to a better start at the beginning of the next season?
I think at this point, right, it's all based on how he's going to change his mentality. That's what this offseason is for me. He has all the tools. I know he can score. I know he can play defense. I know he can go out there and rebound. I know all these things about him. But the question that we've had most on him is, will he be aggressive enough? If he takes 20 to 30% of what DeMar DeRozan is and turns that into his mentality, he's going to be a next level player, because he's got one of the purest mid-range shots already on the team. And then you got DeMar DeRozan teaching him, hey, this is what you do on this move. This is how you get this foul. This is how you add this in. I love that he's working out with DeMar DeRozan. I hope that the mentality sticks, and I hope that he's able to find a way to embrace the mindset of a DeMar, who similar mindset to that Mamba mentality that Kobe was teaching all of those guys. Similar mindset to what we're seeing in the NBA Finals right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the time for you to soak this in and to learn from these guys. And I'm so glad that DeMar's really taking these young guys under his wing. At a minimum, right? Even if DeMar doesn't pan out winning a championship for the Bulls, I think the mentality he's instilling in these young guys will prove to be very good for this team.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what DeMar came in here for. And, we can spin this into this conversation. You let me know how far you want to get into this, Pat. But with all the trade talk lately with Rudy Gobert, which has naturally led to, should the Bulls include Patrick Williams in the deal for that? Again, talking about that window. The championship, in my opinion, the way that I look at this is that the championship window was never meant to be, hey, we signed DeMar, we traded for Vooch, now we're going to be a championship team. It was never supposed to be that. Signing DeMar DeRozan was supposed to be something that showed Zach LaVine that this front office was committed to putting a winning team around him, but also bring in a veteran to mentor the younger players. And giving him that 3-year contract, to me, was saying, hey, this is 3 years now for Patrick Williams to be able to replace what DeMar gives us over this three years, and really we can see what type of player that we have in Patrick Williams. So we know, all right, do we need another star? Do we need, hey, just a bunch of role players? Are Zach and Patrick Williams going to be enough? Things like that. I think now everybody is working constricting the window, when really DeMar coming in was meant to expand the window of the Bulls truly being contending teams. And I think that people get so caught up in that. Like, yeah, this is our first time being a playoff team in almost a decade. I understand it. It feels good. It feels amazing. But I think we forget championship teams aren't built over a day. And guess what? DeMar is here for a good time, not a long time. If you focus too much on that window, we're going to end up being the Los Angeles Lakers with no draft capital, not any young players to build around, and wondering, hey, what the heck do we do next? What do you think about that, Pat?
No, 100%. And it's like the conversation we had on the Breeze, and you were in there for that in the comments. Shout out to you pulling up. But if you can win a championship now with this core, perfect.
Yeah.
But, and that's why you're putting these pieces together. You're trying to get as many pieces in here that are going to be talented and successful. But Lonzo's 24. Io's 24,
22.
22.
Yeah.
P. Will's younger than most of the prospects in the draft right now. He'll be 21 this year. Zach LaVine is 27. You've got time with what you would call your nucleus. And I know a lot of people think Patrick Williams is not going to be a part of the nucleus. If Patrick Williams develops into something and all the other pieces develop, and Zach LaVine's the player he is, you're going to be able to compete, right? Like, that's what you're looking at. Oh, by the way, you get to keep adding to that young core. And your hope is, right, that Vooch and DeMar and Zach LaVine are able to take you far into the playoffs and really make some noise right away. But I'll guarantee you the big man we go after, if we go after one, going to be a young guy. Because it's a future endeavor. It's a long-term move. Because you look at the AK looks at these teams. How long did it take Boston to get to this point? How long did it take Golden State to get to the point where they were able to win championships? How long did it take any championship team? Heck, it took Kobe and then 6 years before they got to an NBA championship? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get used to playing with each other and gel with each other and become the pieces that you're eventually going to become. That team didn't even start with Kobe being a focal point.
This is true. And you also have to look at the fact that the Bulls have given up so much future draft capital. Right now, they got some of that back with Portland's pick. That's going to probably be a low first round pick if we do get it because it's lottery protected.
Yeah.
But with AK and the way that he drafts, we trust that he's going to, if there's a player to be had there that's going to be able to maximize on their potential, AK is going to probably find it. Now, keep in mind, like, nobody's saying, hey, don't trade the first round pick. Nobody's saying you have to garner or hold on to everything. There are going to be some of these players that you do have to move to possibly bring in a better, but guess what? It's not going to be, again, another 30-year-old player. They, like, to your point, it's going to be another player that fits in that. Once Zach LaVine re-signs here, all this talk of, well, the Bulls only have the 2-year window to Mars, that has to go away. Because if you're not planning on trying to compete that 5 years that LaVine re-signed, you might as well not re-sign him.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. And I think sometimes as a fan base, we get so short-sighted. Like, again, I say this all the time. We now live in such a microwave society that people forget things aren't. Even Golden State was not built over a day. Guess what? Every member of their core, they drafted. You got to allow that sometimes.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it took time for that to work. And guess what? You know what the beginning of that core was? Monte Ellis. Where's Monte Ellis?
Yeah.
He's not even in the NBA right now. Yeah, I'm saying, like, so, like, you sometimes you have to take it into account. You have to look at things. And I understand we want to win now, but getting to the point where you are winning is good. And guess what? If you have a good team and then you start to add pieces through the draft that you feel are going to be good players that get you to that next level, that's how you do it. I said this on my show today. The process didn't work. They haven't been to an Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
They got a really good player, and they can't put a team around them. The process didn't work. That whole, we're going to tank, we're going to get worse, we're going to go for draft capital, that don't work. You know when a high-round draft pick comes in and makes you a better team, a championship-level team? When you add that pick to a team that's already pretty good. You added Anthony Edwards to a team with Cat. That team's going to be pretty good because Anthony Edwards is going to be better than Cat.
Oh, listen. Anthony Edwards right now looks like he's about to be the next great shooting guard is what that looks like. But outside of that,
a whole different conversation right now.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation because that's a bad man. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, the thing is that I get it. I get the people who even have issues with Patrick Williams. I get the people who say they want to see him be more aggressive. I understand all of that. But it comes with time. Guess what? The Golden State Warriors right now, even though they got waxed today, and we'll talk about that. Jordan Poole, whenever Steph and Klay go away, is going to be able to look back at this run, this time with Steph and Klay, and not only has experience, he'll still be young. And as they look to probably rebuild that team as close as they can get to still being in contention, now they have a player who overlapped from the old to the new regime.
Yeah.
and has that experience and can carry forward whatever those lessons they learned from Steve Kerr, from Steph, from Draymond, all that to the next team that they try to build. And that's how you build a dynasty. That's how you build a legacy. All this short microwave thinking type thing with, hey, we just got to get to contention right now is going to leave us high and dry in the long run and probably still not wind us in getting a title.
Yeah.
So
And
that's my
I
thoughts.
agree.
That's my thoughts on that. We turned that into a whole different thing, but you know what? It was needed to be said. But you know what else needs to be said is that this episode is brought to you guys by Rock Auto. With the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it is now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. Why endure office pointless, seemingly intimidating questioning like, is your Odyssey an LX or an EX? And wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing only the brand that their warehouse happens to carry. You have computers with access to rockauto.com at your home and in your pocket. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30%, 50%, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or car dealership? Rock Auto is a family-owned business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Plus, they keep their prices reliably low for every customer. So go to rockauto.com right now, see all the parts available for your car or truck, write locked on in there. How did you hear about a section? And let us know that we sent them. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need at
rockauto.com.
And that's how teamwork happens. All right, beautiful people. So next up, we are going to be continuing our draft player profiles, and this has been really fun to do. Just to talk about what are some of the players that we could possibly be drafting if we don't move the pick. Now, we could be putting a lot of work into this for a pick that's ultimately moved, but we're going to talk about a very exciting player and somebody who all we know could end up being the steal of this draft, especially if he goes as low as 18th to us, and Nikola Jovic. Now, you know, people are making the easy comparisons to Nikola Jovic, which that's Jokic. Like, it's their names confused. They're basically the same name. But I know you've gotten to see tape on this guy. We've talked about him a little bit off air as well. What do you think about him as a prospect?
Jovic is a very interesting prospect to me because you've seen so many different things from him. I wonder which one is true. In the FIBA World Cup, balled out. I watched this tape from the World Cup, shot 49% from the field, 18 points a game, 8 rebounds a game. I think he was like 3 assists, something like that, like a defensive juggernaut. But then in the season, right, there's a different story there in the season where it's 12 points a game on 41% shooting. It's 4.5 rebounds. It's 3.6 assists. It's 0.4 blocks. And he's 19 years old, right? What the heck just happened? All right. And he's 19 years old, right? So, like, you feel like you're hoping that the FIBA World Cup numbers are the same. The only thing with Jovic to me that I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. 6'11", 7-foot wingspan, 233 pounds, or 223 pounds, I'm sorry. Don't we got this guy? That's the only question that I have when I look at him, right? Don't we got this guy? Also, and I hate this. I think analytics have their place. Y'all gotta stop sending me per 36 now.
Listen, bro. Per 36 is a thing that people who really don't like. You can use per 36 to people who average close to 36 minutes. When you try to use per 36 to somebody who it completely like Cristiano Felicio averaged a double per 36 minutes.
Yeah. 100%.
You gotta stop that, man. You gotta stop.
And here's the weird thing: the only time I see it come through is on stats that they do bad. Right? Like, it's on stats that they do bad. Like, oh, he doesn't, like, for him, his assist numbers per 36, 4.6. Yeah, I mean, his like, his per 36. Now, on the other side, right? Like, I use it the other way. I'd be like, all right, well, that's his assist numbers per 36, right? His per 36 turnovers are 4. And he had a problem with turnovers this season. Now, with Jovic, right, he did play close to 30 minutes a game, so you might be able to use it a little bit more with him.
But the way that I look at that then is he played 24.8 minutes per game, right?
Yeah.
So are we saying that he's going to get 3 more assists in 8 minutes?
You know what I'm saying? Like the per 36 numbers kill me.
Yeah.
So, but I think the one thing that is a strength of his, is what we saw in the FIBA World Cup. If that's the real him, if he can shoot at a 49% clip, I really like him. But again, I saw Marco ball out at the FIBA World Cup, so that's my only question. Do we have this guy already? He also turned the ball over quite a bit, though. I did say that was one thing that I noticed in his tape. He would like, and maybe it's youth, but there was some bad passes in there.
Okay, so the way that I look at Jovic, and the reason why I say he could very well end up being the steal of the draft, is that at the minimum, I see him turning into Hito Turkoglu. That's at the bare minimum, and you can tell me, that, hey, listen, yeah, that's again, that's not top 10 potential, but you talking about picking at number 18, you can get a Hito Turkoglu type player. This is. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, I said I like it.
Yeah. The thing that I was going to say, though, is that we can't do what we did with Marco with him. If we draft Nikola Jovic, I don't care if it's 10 minutes per game. Playing my small forward, he has to play. Like, yes, he's a long-term thing, but he has to get some NBA minutes because guess what? Nikola Jovic is going to ball out in the G League. We already know this. Marko Simonovic balled out in the G League.
Yeah.
I don't want no more anybody coming and saying, hey, but guess what? He scored 23 and 8 in the G League. I don't care because when he came into the NBA, he got dunked on every time he touched the floor.
He was getting boomed. It was bad out there. I don't know what we would get in Jovic that would be different. And listen, like I look at Marco kind of in a similar way. Like Marco was able to shoot in FIBA. Marco was able to grab boards, play defense. A little lighter. It didn't play as well back to the basket. I think Jovic got a better back to the basket game, slightly. But I wonder what we're reaching for. Like, are we just going to get guys like this? And granted, we it's not a guarantee that the Bulls draft them, but are you just going to get guys like this to just say, let's see if we can find one? Like, are we playing the law of odds on this? Because I'll tell you what, as much as I watch his game and I was like, yeah, he's got some moves. Yes, he's playing
and he's
at a professional
smooth,
level.
He's smooth.
He's smooth. Yeah. And yes, he's 19. But Tari Eason's smooth. EJ Liddell's smooth. And I feel like he can give me impact in 3-4 years. I think they can give me impact right now.
Oh, EJ Liddell can give you EJ Liddell from the moment he touches, as long as whatever team gives him minutes.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all right now, and somebody may say that I'm crazy as hell with this. I guarantee you that at least at the start of the season, probably the first 20 to 30 games, EJ Liddell is going to be in Rookie of the Year conversation.
I would think he's in. I'd say he's in there further because he's going to come in as the most developed rookie.
I try to be
try to keep. Go all out on that. I think if we're gonna look at a Nikola Jovic, and not to take anything away from his game, but when I watched it, I saw what I saw with Marco.
Okay, here's the question. Let me ask you this then. What if all this trade talk we talked about? What if it isn't? What if it isn't Kobe? What if they trade? Because what if a team does see the potential in Marco and says, hey, we'll take that for our late first round pick, and the Bulls do draft Nikola Jovic and pick up another pick?
I don't see it because Marco?
It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm throwing it out there as a hypothetical.
Marco got drafted mid-second round. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's shown you nothing. He's literally shown you and get dunked on. Like, honestly,
did you have to do the sound effect, brother? Did you have?
Yeah, man. Remember the opening of Johnny Quest when they took the boat off the ramp and it was the 3 dudes that was like in the alligator scuba diving suit. Like,
you killing me, man.
You know what I mean, like that's how Marco was looking out there, and so, but like again, they look great versus the level of competition they play.
Yes, for sure.
And it's not like highlights; like they legitimately look great versus the level of competition they play.
Bro, I just watched a G League game today when I was bored and nothing else was on TV. Matter of fact, it was after I watched the stream.
Yeah,
Marco legitimately was the best player on the floor.
Yeah,
in almost every G League game he played in.
But can that translate to the NBA?
It needs to, because the thing that's concerning about it is the fact that at a time where we needed size,
We
Marco
didn't
didn't
play.
get in the game.
He
So
couldn't get in the
we'll,
game.
we'll, we'll see, we'll see what happens. We've talked about that heavily, so we'll see what happens with that next season. But this is the question I want to ask you before we end this part of the episode.
Let's do it.
So it sounds like because of Marco, you're not necessarily leaning towards a power forward. Do you want more? Is it more a guard to replace Kobe's scoring off the bench? Is it more just a true big center that you're looking for? Like, what is it that you hope the Bulls, if they do hold on to this pick, what route they go with the pick?
I'm fine going backup power forward because I think Marco's going to get into backup Fooch more so than he is going to get
Okay.
into backup Patrick Williams. But I just want the Bulls to go with I don't really care what position they go with because we've got the mid-level exception. We've got the
Trade exception.
we've got the trade exception. We've got things in our books where we can go get a player that's going to fill a role. But whatever player you draft, if you're going to draft a player or if you trade the pick, has to be a player that can make contributions, not a future pick. Not a like there's some picks that it's like, okay, yes, we need this for the future, but you need to start seeing pieces that can come in and make an impact on your team this season. Not to say you're going for a championship run, but to see how that's actually going to gel. Like, I don't know how Patrick Williams gels with Zach, with Lonzo, with Io, because we didn't see enough of it.
Okay.
So I feel like in that situation, right, if an EJ Liddell comes in and you realize what you need is a problem, EJ Liddell can make an instant impact on the floor and help Vooch be better and help DeMar be better, improving your win now probability as well as your long-term probability if he does become a Taj. On the flip side, if I trade that for Christian Wood, guess what? I know what he gives me. Yeah, man. So it's a give take for me, but I think that you're far enough in the startup process, right? That like you can't, especially if you re-sign Zach LaVine, bring a player in that you're gonna say, "Hey, Zach, you give me till you're 30 years old, and he's gonna be that guy."
Okay. Does that not contradict though what we just talked about in the first segment with building though? A little bit.
No, because there's pieces here that already you're still already hoping for with that. Like you've
Okay.
got Io. Io's not Io. I don't think Io's gonna be that piece till 30. Till Zach's 30. I don't think that P. Will's going to be the full pinnacle of the piece till Zach's 30, right? Like, so if I go get another guy that I'm saying that, like, at least these guys have been in the NBA for 2 years. Well, P. Will 2 years. They'll be going into his third. I'll be in his second. They've got that experience already. Meanwhile, I'm bringing in another rookie, and we're in year 2 of Zach LaVine, and we're saying, hey, look, I need you to kind of speed the process up. But when we're getting to the end of this, you'll be good. Like I don't know. I feel like if you're signing Zach, there is a part of it that you have to win within 5, right? Are any of these guys that are the 19-year-olds gonna help you win within 5?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
Definitely. I think Nikola Jovic can in 5. Definitely. I think a Malik Branham, who we almost talked about today,
Come on.
can do that. I think that a Jalen Williams could do that within 5. I definitely think that when you look at the like Jalen Williams' progression would be he's very comparable to Bobby Portis. Within Bobby Portis' 5th year in the season, he helped the Milwaukee Bucks win a title. So that's just my thinking of it. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm just saying that, just trying to throw out a counter argument there.
I maybe, right? But for me, right, like EJ Liddell helps you win. I think he can help you win in Rookie of the Year running, like you said, this year, and he'll be set. Like we're not looking for where he fits next year. I think Tari Easton's a little bit of a longer player, but his defense gets
his defense is
his
ready
defense
to go
is ready
today.
Yeah, his defense is ready. So and that's something that the Bulls need.
Yeah.
So for me, right, like I think that's more so what I'm looking at. And I kind of just talked myself through it here. Like you've got to give me something that's
you have to have that one skill that's ready to go.
That's ready to go. You've got to give me something that's ready to go right now. Like I don't feel like he has a full game. Talking about Nikola Jovic has a full game right now that's ready to go.
That's fair. All right.
Hey man, before we get into into telling you about this final topic here, we're gonna break down the NBA Finals, which was wild tonight. Live call. I'm exhausted. Don't worry about it. Hayes is off of 2 hours of sleep and Oreo, and he's ready
Oh
to
no,
fight,
bro!
battle, or become.
I ain't been sleep
Yeah,
none.
man.
I'm off nothing but ignorance and a cup of coffee. That's all I'm on right
Ignorance
now.
and a cup of coffee is the name of the episode. Don't worry about it. Oh man, I wish we could name our own stuff. The Ultimate NBA Mock Draft starts June 16th with over 50 insiders. Nothing equals the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft. The Locked On NBA Big Board Draft experts, plus the Odyssey insiders. First pick is June 19th. Search Ultimate NBA Mock Draft and follow now so that you don't miss a pick. Also, we got to tell you about Built Bar. Man, it's late night. I'm starving, but you know what I'm finna do? Instead of going up there and making me a bowl of cereal like I normally do, I'm gonna just go up there and grab a Built Bar that I paid for, by the way. Don't worry about that. But Built Bar is out here with the caramel brownies. That's a great dessert, but it's also going to get me through the night. Here's the thing. Don't you love a chewy chocolatey brownie? Who doesn't? What a caramel brownie with caramel swirls on top. It's fire. Stop playing with them. What if I told you could have all that chewy chocolatey deliciousness plus 17 grams of protein? Well, you're in luck because caramel brownie bars are available at built.com right now. You might need to go check like right now. They might not be available because they are selling out that quick. You got to act fast because they are a fan favorite. Forget about dessert. These are better than dessert. Plus, the macros are unreal. 130 calories, 17 grams of sugar, proteins, and only 4 grams of sugar. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Based on how my mom make brownies, there's no way that there are only 130 calories in one bar in that. So you got to get over to BuiltBar.com right now and check this out. Make sure that you're using the promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off your order. Use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at BuiltBar.com. Y'all know I'm getting into that tonight, man, because, boy, I have been in the studio since 8 o'clock this morning.
Bro, listen, when you say that, like I've put out like 4 videos in less than 24 hours. It's ridiculous. But let's go ahead and get into the last topic today, man. We're gonna talk about the NBA Finals. Boston Celtics downing the Golden State Warriors every time the Golden State Warriors looked like they were about to take over the game. And God knows there were some shots that Steph Curry hit, especially that 3-point shot he hit when he was fouled by Al Horford, and then they gave him the technical, and that was like a 5-point swing that brought him, I think, within 2 at that point. They did overtake the game, I think, by 1 briefly. But listen, hats off to Boston. They answered everything that the Golden State Warriors threw at them. They did lose the third quarter, which was expected by 8. But listen, fourth quarter outscored the Golden State Warriors by 12 to seal the game and win overall by 16. Brother, how do you feel about this game?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I got to give all credit to the Boston Celtics to this one. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum played well at the same time, probably for the first game that I've seen in a while, at a minimum in the second half, right? And the other thing that I'll say with this team is that the Boston Celtics are not a good team when it comes to holding on to leads late, especially 1-point leads that go the other way. We saw them struggle with that versus Miami, kind of giving away leads and stuff like that. But they not only fought back, they fought back and proved, hey, we're here to stay. And it opens up the question in my mind, right? Like, they played their physical brand of basketball that they've been playing since round 1. Was Golden State game 2 a fluke? With how physical they played, with how physical they got, because they were not able to match that intensity here in game 3.
Well, it was at home, so I'm going to give Boston a little bit of credit for that, it being at home. I do think that Golden State is a team that can get physical, but Boston at home physicality, I don't know if they listen. They had this next game in Boston, game 4 on Friday, is a must win for the Golden State Warriors. Period. And I don't know if we've ever seen the Golden State Warriors in this position in the finals and be healthy.
We have when they had
the 3-1.
No. They were up. Which one was it? No, they versus Cleveland.
Yeah,
versus Cleveland. I want to say. Well,
they were up 3-1 on
They
Cleveland.
were up 3-1. No, we haven't seen Golden State down. I thought you said we haven't seen Golden State down 2-1.
No, I'm saying that we haven't seen them in not even down 2-1, but I'm in a position where the momentum is clearly in the other team's hands this early in the series.
I think I will say it was Kevin Durant on the team, so you never really felt like the momentum was going the other way. You make a point there. No,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And you know what? Here's the weird thing, right? Like I look at this game and you got your averages from Andrew Wiggins. Klay Thompson showed up. Stephen Curry cooked like he always does. But am I the only one that thought Jordan Poole looked a little scared? Am I the only one that thought Gary Payton looked a little scared? Wiggins looked a little scared, taking some shots there. It seemed like their first finals run in their opponent's building, they were a little bit timid. And to the point, like, right, there was one play, I want to say it was in the second, where it was Payton to Poole, Poole to Payton, Payton to Poole, Poole to Payton, Payton to Poole. Multiple open shots, and it's finally Klay comes off a screen. He's like, give me the ball, contested fadeaway jumper, cash. And it's like, we got to shoot. What are we doing? We got to
Even
shoot.
Otto Porter seemed more willing to shoot it sometimes than some of the younger players.
And I think that even with that, right, like Wiggins, I think had some moments like that. Peyton, Poole. I think game 3 was a little bit more of a nerves game.
Mm-hmm.
I think game 4 could be a completely different scenario. I don't know if it'll be similar to game 2, but I think it could be a different scenario because they'll have that understanding coming into the game of what it is. Also, don't know if you saw this, but Boston, little Boston move, right? Little cheating.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's cheating
dirty.
or not.
Hey, listen, no, you can say it's a little dirty. It was.
Now, what you talking about?
I'm talking about some of the physicality. There was a couple.
No. I'm not even on that. This is before the game even start.
Oh, okay.
They had Golden State's rim 2 inches higher.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Golden State complained and they had to stop shoot around because their rim was 2 inches higher.
Well,
a little dirty. The physicality part of it. Paul
Pierce was in the building. It wouldn't surprise me if he personally came out there and was like, "Let me just push this up a little."
Whatever, dog. That was the ghost of Red Auerbach out there, like. You got the little bar you stick up in that joint. You just.
Oh man, that's funny.
Was the ghost
but
of
listen,
Red Auerbach
Paul Pierce. What? All I can say is, where the hell has Paul Pierce been, and what people has he been eating? Because that man, you can't tell me that man hasn't been eating whole entire other humans.
Hey, listen, Paul Pierce a little big out here, but that's not my problem with it. My problem with Paul Pierce, most of from tonight. By the way, apparently even in Boston, they don't love you like you, Kobe, because your boy left you hanging for a while on that handshake.
Yeah.
He was like, but on the flip side of that, bro, is the Black Album about to drop again? Because why was the collar popped on the NBA 75 jacket? Like it was 2004 again, brother.
Literally showed up like that great uncle that you see only at special events, right? The family get-togethers, the graduations, but every time you see them, they're stuck in the time frame in which there was their prime. That was Paul Pierce today. He's stuck in the 90s, brother. Early 2000s, late 90s.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Paul is one of the coolest dudes in the world to me because, like, Paul Pierce kind of knows he's not cool, but he knows he's good at basketball and got a whole lot of money. And so he just be like, they're like, Paul, what you do? I'm good at basketball. I got a whole lot of money. Oh, okay.
And I got stabbed.
And I got stabbed in the ribs. Like, oh, okay. I don't know what to do with this information. Don't worry about that. Just come back home. I got a strip club in the crib. What? What just happened? Don't worry about that. My collar popped right now. I'm finna go pick up some Kanye shades with the shades on it, like it's college dropout in his mind. Like,
you know, he got the strippers in the back. He come out, hey, don't worry about what they doing back there. She ain't doing nothing back there but eating peanut butter cookies. If you know what that's from, if you get that reference,
go wash your hands.
Oh man, I love.
Well, that was my takeaway from the finals. Paul Pierce, collar popped, and strippers in the background. All right, I think we've had enough for one day.
I think it's time to go. We both tired. We may get fired tonight. Let's go ahead and go.
Don't worry about it, man. Hey, follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls, man.
And you can follow me at CEO Haize, man. Thank you so much for tuning in and making Locked On Bulls your first listen of the day. Now, for your second listen, I need you to go check on Locked On NBA Big Board, where host Rafael Barlow goes deep inside the NBA draft. Like I told you guys yesterday, that man needs his doctorate when it comes to draft coverage because he covers it on a whole different level. If you think our draft player profiles have any depth to them, it doesn't. Nothing compared to what Rafael Barlow does. So go and check him out over there. It's available wherever you get your podcast, man. Thank you so much for tuning in to Locked On Bulls today. We'll see you beautiful people tomorrow to finish out the week. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Y'all stay safe out there, man.